if you're an individual that's willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to put the work in, I don't care what industry you're in, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're and I mean, a lot of that goes with how you define success.
Yep.
Right. I talked to one of my friends is probably one of the smartest people I know, who, if he wanted to, would be a billionaire right now.
Yep.
Right. He's brilliant. He's got the mind to come up with anything. But what he determines as successful is he home every day to get his kids off the bus?
Yep.
Is he able to work from home at his cottage up north in the summer?
Yep.
And so he knows what income he needs to have to be able to maintain that lifestyle.
Yep.
What he doesn't need is he doesn't need to work 80-hour weeks to do that.
Yep.
Right. And so that's how he determines success.
Yep.
And so I think understanding what success means to you
yep.
is go back to self-reflection, like understanding who you are and what you need. And does that align with the work you're going into?
Yeah. I've got one more question here. You might have just answered
it.
But before I ask, is there anything else that you want to bring up we didn't cover, you want to mention? Any resources you want to point people to or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, so if you're in college, I think one of the biggest mistakes I made was not using career services.
Okay.
I didn't know it existed, if I'm being honest, which is a problem. I kind of just, stumbled my way through different careers to end up where I am now, almost by mistake, right? Utilize career services.
Okay.
They exist for a great reason. They are tremendously knowledgeable. They have a great knowledge base. They have great connections. They can open the door a lot of places for you.
Okay.
So utilize that if you're in college. More than that is, I grew up thinking that if someone introduced me to someone or opened the door for me,
mm-hmm.
that was an indictment on me not being successful.
Okay.
And my one advice to kids that I say every time I talk to them is, right, and I hate the cliche, like, that your network is your net worth type, nonsense, yep. Right? But there's truth to it, right? It's a cliche for a reason. I know that General Motors, for example, gets, hundreds of thousands of applications a year to their job postings. A human being looks at less than 3% of them.
Okay.
Which means hiring managers know who they're going to hire before anyone applies.
Okay.
Right. And so who who can introduce you, who can put in a good word is more valuable than any skill set, any education, any degree. Mm-hmm. Right. Whether it's getting you your first job or your internship, whether it's helping you connect with someone in business for sales or for leads or opportunities, right? Having a network is your most valuable skill set.
Okay.
And it is unfairly distributed at the start, right? Like if I have successful parents or a good network that I come from, I am at an advantage than someone that does not. Mm-hmm. But it is a skill that everyone can build. Mm-hmm. Not everyone starts at the same point in the race, mm-hmm. right? But if I'm a college student, if I'm a high school student, right, I can build my own network.
Okay.
Again, at different speeds, but that is how you're going to get opportunities.
Yep.
Right? If my neighbor works at a company that I'm applying to, and I tell the neighbor that I'm applying, and that neighbor goes in and talks to someone, like maybe in a totally different department, yep. and say, hey, my friend Joe's applying. He's my neighbor. He's a really hardworking kid, right? Whatever.
Yep.
That means your resume will actually be looked at by a real person, and it might get your foot in the door.
Yep.
And that does not mean that you are not successful.
Yep.
All someone can do is open the door for you. You have to walk through it. You have to do well in the interview. You have to succeed in the job and not get
yep.
fired,
yep.
right?
Yep.
But take every door that's open for you, right? Take every introduction you can get. Go have coffee, go have lunch, right? Talk with everyone that you can to, get your foot in the door somewhere, because you never know where it's going to lead.
Okay.
Right? And like this conversation here happens because someone that I connected with in a BNI networking group
yep.
10 years ago connected me to John, who connected me to Osef. You reached out to him about a podcast. He connected you to me, right?
Yep.
Like, it's a long game,
yeah,
right? And hopefully someone hears this talk on a podcast
yep.
and mentions it to me, 6 months from now, right?
Yep.
And it starts another conversation, right? All these different things add up to leading you to successful opportunities. So
yep.
invest in people
yeah.
more than anything else in your career. And that's my biggest advice to kids.
So words have associations, and so networking, and you said there's a cliche that you said. So they can mean something positive to somebody, they can mean something negative to somebody. For me, like in this example of John, meeting John and being a clown, I didn't go be a clown because I thought maybe I'd talk to you someday or something. I didn't have any preconceived notion about it whatsoever, but it's fun to get to know people.
Yeah.
It's fun to have unique experiences. It's fun to have people in life.
Oh, yeah.
And so networking, if that means something negative to somebody listening to this and like, I'm not a networker, I'm not going to go out there and smooge people.
Yeah.
I am not either. I like to get to know people.
Yeah.
I like to have fun experiences. I like unique experiences. It's fun. I'm a member of the DEC. I love that organization. I go to the DEC meetings, the ones that look interesting about something I'm going to learn. Every time I'm there, I also meet interesting people.
Oh, yeah.
So some people go to the DEC, and it is their intention. You can see them. They walk around, shake your hand. What are you doing? Here's my card. Here's your card.
Yeah.
That's what they go there for, and that's great. And I've met a lot of them, and they've been fun. And some people like me, they go to hear the speaker and to have a casual conversation with somebody at the table or something like that.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, networking is a beautiful thing. You can give it a different name if you want to. But we're all just getting to know people in this world, which makes the world more interesting and more connected. And we get some neat, shared, unique experiences out of it.
And I will say, though, I mean, the part of network, the word I like, I emphasize, is that there is work to it, right? Oftentimes it doesn't just happen organically, right? You have to put some work into it. But to your point, right, some work can be fun.
Yeah.
Right? We go back to our ethos, right? Kick off our conversation, like whistle while you work, right? And so, like, my wife will joke, like you weren't at work, you were like out at a bar, or you were at a Tigers game or whatever. I was like, no, that's work. I was like networking with people, and I was getting to know them and building bonding and rapport, and right, and like work can be fun, right? And if you enjoy having conversations with people, even if you're an introverted person and it's, like there are things that give you energy and there are things that take energy.
Well,
right?
so I am pretty well introverted, have been my whole life. So I like to do activities.
Yeah.
Like it's difficult for me to be at a small table, one of those standing top tables, and walk up and like, okay, who are you?
Have small talk. Yeah.
But if you're more like me, do activities, bike rides, have fun. But point is to have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun and get to know people.
Some people do it over golf. Some people do it after other athletic activities. Some people do it at speed dating type networking events, right? Like you're going to find what works for you, right? But meeting people and cultivating relationships, right? And kind of playing the long game with those relationships, even if you never see any benefit from it, right? Is an investment worth making.
Yeah. Two things. Like I've never have an expected benefit.
Yeah.
And maybe some people do. I never have, and if I did, maybe I'd have a bigger network, because I would be actively thinking that way. So you don't need to have an expectation. I like to meet people and not having the expectation that I need or want something out of you. To me, it keeps it pretty clean. But the other thing you brought up, and I do want to mention this, is sometimes people feel like if they're introduced to somebody that they didn't deserve that, they didn't earn that. Somebody introduced me. And it's almost this guilty feeling to then do something
Imposter
as an
syndrome,
internship in that company or something like that. And so I'm glad that you brought that up, because especially maybe if somebody, there is a lot of social awareness. And maybe if somebody feels like, hey, I had it easier than somebody else, they might have shame almost with that introduction or whatever. But
people,
that's in our own head.
People want to help.
You still got to be who you are and do what you're going to do.
And people genuinely want to help other people.
Yep.
Right?
And then, by the way, help somebody else then too. If you feel like you got a little bit of privilege, you met all kinds of people, help them out.
There's I can't remember the celebrity. I want to say it's an actor. Said when you reach the top, it's your responsibility to send the elevator back down.
Yeah.
Right. And so
often and fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like people want to help you.
Yep.
And then you pay it forward and you help the next person, right? And actually the best networker I know goes to networking events with one goal, which is to help someone that's there.
Yeah.
Right? That might be with his product.
That's really cool.
Or that might be with an introduction to someone he knows that he has no benefit in, but his job is to help someone else. And if you go in with like that mindset that says, right, I might not be able to help you, but I might know someone that does, right? Tell me what you do and take an interest in them. Like that's a really easy way to approach it, where you don't feel like, it's work, right? You're trying to help someone else.
Yep.
Right. And that's a fun way to approach networking.